you are the master of creative financing. You just shared with me, which I didn't realize that that's your favorite aspect of real estate. Just so listeners out there, you and I know what that means, creative financing, but most people probably listening have maybe heard the term, maybe not even heard the term, but they don't know what it is. Do you mind sharing one of the creative financing deals that you have structured that is one of your favorite, maybe your favorite, but one of your favorite, why it was creative so people understand that?
Absolutely. So I'll change her name to protect her
Sure.
privacy, but there was a lady named Anne, right? And
Right.
Anne was like, I think she was like a year and a half behind on her mortgage. Like I don't know how they let her get this far behind, but
Yes.
they did. She was in a bad spot. I mean, they were going to auction. We kept checking in with her, but she kept on, procrastinating, and finally she's like, oh, because we had been talking to her so much and reaching out, she's like, Nate, hey, I need your help now. So she was like $50,000 behind on her mortgage. So we had to bring a bunch of money to the table to get her caught up. But the nice thing was, I mean, a foreclosure stays on your record for like 7 years.
Yeah.
And so it's like we saved Anne from going through all that foreclosure process, and we gave her an additional $7,000 to get back on her feet, to go find a new place to live.
Yeah.
Enough for a rental deposit and a couple months rent. And we literally just took her house in its present condition. We had to haul a bunch of junk out. And so, I mean, a lot of these people, they're so down and out, they just get in a funk and they don't really think of what they could do. She could have sold it on the market, but it was too late. The bank was about to take everything, and so we gave her equity, we caught her up, so it was like a win-win-win.
Awesome.
And then we fixed it up. We added a bedroom or two.
Yeah.
And we ended up selling it to someone else. Now the person we sold it to, because she was still on the mortgage. Anne's name is still on the mortgage to this day.
Yep.
We're paying it on her behalf, which is further helping her credit.
Right.
But then we found another gentleman who was also couldn't qualify for a loan. He had a bunch of money.
Yeah.
But he just couldn't qualify, right? I think he didn't have like legal status or something. I don't know.
Okay.
But very successful businessman, and just couldn't qualify for a bank loan, and so. He reached out to me and said, hey, I want this house, this is awesome. And so I'm like, all right, well, so he put $60,000 down as a down payment.
Wow. Yeah, he has cash.
For that house. And the great thing is now he is able to have homeownership. He owns it to this day, and he's making payments to me, and then I make the payments to the bank, and I get to keep, I think it's like $400 or $500 in between.
Cash flow.
Fantastic. And once he refinances, we'll make $110,000, I think.
Wow.
So we're gonna do great on it, and Anne wins, right? So it's a win for Anne, it's a win for the bank, it's a win for me, and it's a win for this gentleman who bought the house with cash. And here's one of the other funny things I'll tell you about this down payment. When we were closing, Yoshi, he literally brought a backpack full of actual $100 bills, like $60,000
No
in $100 bills. I was like, oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
He's like I don't think it was, bad money or anything.
Yeah.
It was just like he was a contractor and getting money. So literally just gives me $60,000 in cash. Okay, you want me to deposit this now? But it was great. But it was a win for him, and he's making payments, and she's getting her thing taken care of, and so it's a win for everybody.
I love it. And so just so the listeners understand, I'm going to break this down because it's brilliant. It's creatively financed twice.
Yes.
So not only did I ask you to share one seller finance story, it ended up being a double, like a two-scooper, right?
Yeah.
So for those of you listening, here's exactly this is what's so cool about it. And I love how you just broke it down too, that the bank wins, you win, and wins, and this buyer wins. 4 people were able to win in the ability of you creatively structuring a property to help 4 people. You didn't just help one, you helped 4. And you're one of the 4, which is great. That's why we do this. We want to help people, but we also need to make a living. So Anne's facing foreclosure. There's not enough time to sell the house on the market because it typically takes 30 days to 45 days to close a real estate transaction on the retail market. If the bank is going to foreclose in the auction, let's say next week, there's just no time. You're going to lose the house to the auction. So Nate saves this lady's credit history, saves her from the headache of having to go through the foreclosure. There's the first save. She leaves the current loan in place. Nate brings that $50,000 she's behind to make her current. So now you've saved the bank from having to foreclose because they just got their money, not from Ann, but from you. So that's the second person you helped. Now you remodel the home, make it nice, take all the stuff out that you mentioned that you took out, and then you turn around and are able to help a gentleman who couldn't get a loan now be a homeowner. There's the third person you help. And you leave Ann's mortgage in place that Ann had to finance, hypothetically, this other gentleman. Now you're the middleman, so you're paying that and he's paying you, which is where you make a nice cash flow in the middle. Brilliant. And then the fourth person you help, of course, is you, because now you're getting cash flow in the middle and this gigantic equity spread when that day comes, where the guy is able to refinance out of Ann's loan and into his own. Ann's credit's being readdressed, refixed, I guess, because she obviously was a year and a half behind, but now she's current. So her credit score is working way up. I mean, that is like when you say a win, 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 win.
Yeah. Quadruple win.
Quadruple
I'll mention there was one other person that went because I coach people in doing exactly this.
Okay.
And the guy that brought this deal to me, that brought, and was following up with Ann all this time, we worked together. I showed him how to do it. He learned, and now we're splitting the profit. This $110,000 profit.
That's so cool.
With this guy that I'm coaching.
That is so cool, guys. So really, really, really This is really an advanced real estate type of strategy, but brilliant, as you can see. 5 winners all in this scenario. I love it. I freaking love it. Awesome. Okay, so we're going to take a commercial break. When we come back, it's nightmare story time, and Nate, the reason we have the nightmare story is because I've had lots of nightmares in my real estate career. I was talking to a friend of ours, I'll mention him later, and he was like, well, do you want today's nightmare story or the worst one that's happened so far this year? If you're in real estate, you have had a nightmare story, right? And so the reason we have this is because I like to share my nightmare stories and the lesson I learned so that other people don't have to learn from my mistakes. It's kind of like parenting. We teach our kids our nightmares of life so they don't have to go through those, right? And so when we come back, you're not going to want to go away. We are going to take a commercial break, but when we come back, we're going to have Nate share with us his nightmare story. So stay tuned.